Since the release of my video entitled Theist Advantage, as a response to Atheist Fighter's video, I've been thinking a lot about the advantages that theism offers, juxtaposed against the advantages that atheism offers. Then I began analyzing claims made by some very public atheists and the YouTube atheist community about the apparent toxic quality and social corrosive claims that are heaped upon theism. I think we've all probably heard these opinions at one point or another, or maybe even you hold that position. Whatever the case, this has recently come back into vogue among the chattering class and the secular intelligentsia, as evidenced by such books as The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins and practically everything else that Daniel Dennett ever writes. The argument goes something like this, for those of you who haven't heard it. Religion is a corrosive, it's poison, it's bad for people, it keeps people in the Middle Ages or the pre-Middle Ages. It prevents the march forward into modernity. It prevents research on certain types of medications that could advance humanity. I'm certain that we've probably all heard this before. As I read through some of these anti-theistic polemics, something begins to dawn on me. These same people, in order to work things like love and shyness and infatuation and practically everything else that you can imagine into a materialist framework, invariably invoke evolutionary advantage as the reason for said thing's success. The logic being that something like love offers a benefit to the person and to the society, therefore flourishes, and something that offers less advantage perishes. Let me give you some examples. One article in New Scientist from 1993 offers an article entitled The Evolutionary Advantages of Sex. Now this advantage is comparative to asexual reproduction, not simply passing genetic material on. Of course that could be accomplished a lot of ways, given the general creativity of purported evolution. But the fact that the higher level animals reproduce via sex, instead of via asex as worms do, is reconciled by positing the notion that sex is advantaged. Another example that's used mainly by philosophers that I've seen is to say that a mother's love is admissible in a materialistic framework because the mother's love is an evolutionary byproduct of the desire to pass genetic material or to pass a family lineage on to the offspring. Now, on the surface, there seems to be an enormous dichotomy between these two positions, particularly if they happen to be held by a single individual. To argue that things succeed because they are advantaged in some way by the evolutionary process, and to argue that religion itself is overall poor or overall negative influence on humanity, as corrosive or as poisonous, seems to me an affront to cause and effect. I can scarcely think of something that has been as wildly successful or as long-lasting as religion has. It's been with us from the very beginning, it's still with us now, and it shows no signs of abatement. Contrary to the opinion of those who would enjoy to see it abate, it's still with us, and it's growing exponentially. So this then is the question that I would ask to the atheists or to the materialists who happen to be listening to this presentation. If you wanted to make a video response, or if you just wanted to leave comments below the video, either would be fine, but I really would like this question answered. If things succeed because they're advantaged by evolution, and religion succeeds continually and pedantically, how could you then claim that religion is caustic or religion is poisonous? Doesn't evolution decree that religion is in fact highly advantaged? By way of comparison, I suppose that an atheist could argue reciprocally that atheism is shown to have tremendous advantage via evolution as well. I would ask you to consider which has been more successful, which has had the greater number of adherents over time, which continues to have the greater number of adherents. Does either show a particular sign of waning at the moment? I think that the atheists and the materialists are going to have their hands full on reconciling this problem, and it's probably going to come down to choosing between one of two favorite arguments regularly used by this group of philosophers. Either religion is advantaged, which shows that the argument that religion is poisonous and religion is disadvantageous and it's bad for humanity to be false, or religion is not advantaged, but growing and succeeding nonetheless, which shows the evolutionary precepts of society to be false. I think you're going to have to choose between one of two of those if you want it to remain internally consistent. But what do you have to say about this? I look forward to hearing from you or reading what you have to say.